Black Ops 7 Season 1 is already here? That's right, another round-based map, more survival maps, more weapons, and everybody's favorite, more LTMs to look forward to. On a weird turn of events today, they have started advertising Season 1 of Black Ops 7, except the game hasn't even released yet. But hey, I'll take it. Unfortunately, they didn't give us any concrete dates of when this is going to be, but stick around to the end of the video because I think we have a way of figuring it out. But first, I want to talk about what is coming. They did release a dev talk going over all of this. I will link that in the description if I remember. But starting with the small things, obviously we have some more LTMs. There will be holiday themes of these LTMs, and Kevin Drew said that there is even more LTMs after that. Personally, after this year, LTMs can be pretty hit or miss. I love the Jingle Hells. I love the Halloween event that we just had. I just wish, and I love the starting room challenge. I just wish they were actually permanent and last a little bit longer. At least, if not at first, maybe eventually. We know from the blog post of the Black Ops 7 reveal that all of the other DLC enhancements that we got, Lightman, Shatterblast, Mr. Peaks, Tesla Storm, all those are going to be coming in Season 1. And of course, all of those things are going to have 2 more augments and with the ability to have 2 minor augments, just like everything else in Black Ops 7. And I want to address this here. I've heard people say that this is drip feeding content, and I'm going to be an annoying stickler about this because I really don't think this is drip fed. Drip feeding to me would be releasing these things over the course of the entire year, you know, like drip is a little amount of water over a long course of time. This is everything from Black Ops 6 in one season, in the first season. So we're getting a lot of content relatively quickly. I feel like that's the opposite of drip fed in my opinion. I don't know. Hopefully there's more to Season 1 than just the stuff we already had. Hopefully there's like a new perk, new field upgrade, new ammo mod of some sort, but we'll get to that. We are getting 7, that's right, 7 new weapons, including the Maddox assault rifle from Black Ops 4, the crossbows making a return, and the ballistic knife. He also confirms sticks and stones and prop hunt for the multiplayer side of things, which is cool. Matt Scrons has also teased the ballista sniper rifle from Black Ops 2 returning in some form or fashion, even though he didn't mention it during this dev interview. And there is a new kill streak called the Deadeye drone. Now, we don't know how many kill streaks or any kill streaks from multiplayer that are coming over to zombies, but I hope they bring a lot of them over because I do like kill streaks and zombies. I think they interact with the sandbox in a fun way. Getting into the meat of this content update though, we are getting 2 survival maps. The first of which is going to come at the launch of the season, and that is Exit 115. It's the diner location we saw in Ashes of the Dam. And then at the mid-season of Season 1, we are going to get the Cosmodrome. This is the launch facility in Ashes of the Damned, very much reminiscent of Ascension from Zombies in Black Ops 1, or the launch map from Black Ops 1's multiplayer, or that one campaign mission from Black Ops 1. Kevin Drew specifically says this is going to be a tight survival map with a lot of tight spaces, close quarters, could be pretty challenging. I really want to do something special this year with all of these survival maps. I want to do getting to around 50 or maybe getting to around 100 on all of them. Since they're so simple, I want to do something fun and create our own challenge out of them. But of course, we also have a brand new round-based map called Astra Malorum. At least I think I'm saying that right. I believe that's Latin for Stars of Evil. Pretty cool. And as you can see the image on screen, it looks awesome. There's some sort of observatory here we're looking at. Now, spoiler alert, there were some leaks about the DLC maps of this year, one of which being a Dark Aether Space Station. Now, when I first saw this, I saw the observatory. Kevin Drew specifically says that this map is out of this world. I immediately thought, ooh, this is the Dark Aether Space Station. And the other maps that were leaked all sort of relate to the time periods that our new Tempest characters are from. So in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to start off DLC 1 at this Dark Aether Space Station, and then we're going to go shoot off to all of these different areas where all of these other characters are meant to be, have some sort of storyline and through line of all that. Pretty cool. But that conflicts with a different leak saying that there is a New York map coming out for Season 1. This is where Richthofen is from, where Germany won World War II. So it's this alternate history New York where the Nazis won. Supposedly, it's kind of reminiscent of Shadows of Evil, which would make sense given the Stars of Evil name. But of course, I said, oh, it's got an observatory space station, makes way more sense. But then I saw this post on Reddit, shout out to you. There is an observatory in New York. I'm sure there's an observatory everywhere you look, but this is a really interesting idea that we could be going to this place in New York in this observatory. And like I said, with the Stars of Evil, Shadows of Evil, New York DLC 1 leak, I don't know. I'm pretty convinced it's the New York here. Either way, I'm excited to see what this has because Kevin Drew did say that this is one of the coolest maps they've ever made. Being in the Dark Aether, I really hope their creativity shines. I want maps to be provocative again. I want them to have their own themes. I want them to have these mechanics and these boss zombies and these map-specific features and map-specific progression that some players like and some players don't like, and it makes the map feel unique to all of the other maps. We got that a little bit with Black Ops 6, but it wasn't quite enough. I want more of it. Now, I do want to dive into this Astra Malorum picture here. It's clearly an observatory. You can see on the top, the ceiling is kind of either incomplete or it's broken down. You can see some planets rotating, or where planets would be rotating around it. You've got the stars there, and then you've got this thing in the center with a lever on it, a machine of some sort that's probably projecting the stars in this 3D space. That machine looks so much like a machine from like World War II zombies. It really does. Like the Final Reich, those machines in the middle and the right hand of God and all that stuff looks pretty cool. But on the background, you can see there's like stars and paintings everywhere. It looks really beautiful. But if we go to the roadmap, we get a wider image, and you can see two entrances to this room, one on the left and one on the right, which as I'm looking at it now, it doesn't tell us much, but when I first saw this image, I thought this room was a lot bigger, but it looks like this could be just some small side hallway somewhere, which to me gives credibility to the fact that we might be in a museum of some sort or an observatory of some sort rather than a Dark Aether Space Station. And I don't know where to put this, but I have to shout out this logo. It is so cool, and it's very interesting. We've got some crescent shapes around this eye in the center. Looks like the CBS logo, but then we've got like sun rays and stars, and we have a bigger arch on top of the actual logo. And if you ask me, this looks like it might be inferring that we're traveling through time with the different phases of the moon, with the stars going around this planet. Maybe we're trying to go back to all of these universes or all these places where these people are from. They were pulled into the dark ether. Maybe we're trying to fix their sins or something like that. I don't know. There's not much to break down, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I should probably preface this here. This is probably not everything we're getting for season 1. This is just an overview. There is certainly more to come. This is not the like official roadmap of season 1. They could absolutely have, a new perk, a new field upgrader, a new ammo mod, and all the good stuff, gobblegums that we have for zombies. They end this dev talk saying that this is the biggest season 1 ever. I feel like they say that every year. I need to start like writing these down and measuring them and make a spreadsheet to see if they're making it up or not. But they specifically say that season 2 and the future seasons will be huge. Now, between you and me, I wouldn't take that too seriously. That's kind of just marketing talk, but then they emphasize again, they're not taking their foot off the gas. Now, there's been leaks and rumors that this is the last Call of Duty on this specific engine, that everything's going to reset with Modern Warfare 4 next year. And there's been more leaks saying that Treyarch is in like more control this year, and they really are just throwing everything they've got. They're leaving nothing on the table, which is, I think, a phrase that we've heard before from them. So there could be a lot of merit to those statements of all the seasons being big and them not taking their foot off the gas. But of course, that could just be marketing speak. Let's not raise our expectations. I would expect something very similar to Black Ops 6 in terms of pacing. And controversial opinion here, I think the pacing of the DLCs for Black Ops 6 was actually pretty good. It could be the content creator in me, but when a new map releases, or when a new game releases, that is, you want to make a ton of videos, you want to push out all of your content because that's when it's relevant. My hypothesis is that no matter how good season 3, 4, and 5 are for a certain game, just the way people naturally are after 6-7 months of the same game, people naturally get a little burnt out and they go somewhere else. There's not as much hype. So why not push a lot of content in the beginning phases of your game where people are more interested? It's a little bit fresher, it's a little bit newer, because if they're gonna burn out anyway, why waste a perfectly amazing map in, August or something where not a lot of people are gonna appreciate it or come back to it? Now, of course, we could talk about dev time and crunch time and is that good for the developers? And there's a larger conversation to be had there, but I see what they did with Black Ops 6 and I don't dislike it. And I really hope this is kind of going the same way. I wouldn't mind if the first 4 or 5 seasons we get all of these maps, and then with season 6 with the last one, we get, hey, here's the big integration. We're gonna do carry forward for all the weapons. We're going to do carry forward for all of the Black Ops 6 and maybe Cold War maps. And then just a big celebration of like the modern zombies era before everything changes with Modern Warfare 4. And then I suspect, this is a bigger video, but I suspect this might be the last year we get this type of zombie game with all these mechanics and stuff. So I don't know. Now, what else is fascinating to me is that we are only launching Black Ops 7 with one regular map, one round-based map and one survival map. But now season 1, conveniently coming out a couple weeks later, has another brand new round-based map and 2 survival maps. So technically, at least for zombies, there's like more content coming in season 1 than there was at the launch of the game. So I'm wondering if they're like really trying to pace out all of these things. And in terms of pacing, there are rumored to be 5 DLC maps. There's the Dark Aether Space Station and one of these maps for each of our characters. So if we get one in season 1, one in season 2, one in season 3, one in season 4, and one in season 5, that works out pretty well. And if you ask me, if they have 2 survival maps, one at the start of the season, one at the mid-season, season for all of those 5 seasons, that is literally perfect. That is consistent across the year, across the board. We're getting the same amount of content all along the way. I think that could do wonders for pacing and player retention. How they're going to do perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades, I have no idea. Hopefully we see some new ones. If you ask me, they still have a couple old ones they could bring back. Since we're going back to fireworks from Black Ops 3, we could bring back Thunderwall from Black Ops 3. Y'all remember Thunderwall? That could be a fun one. We still got Stone Cold Stronghold. I'm just saying, I know it was leaked for Frostblast, but you know, it could be a perk too. We're rumored to have Mule Kick and Widow's Wine, and I know it might not be super popular, but I think Tombstone does have a role to play, especially with how expensive things are and how punishing going down is here in Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7 Zombies. Tombstone could work. And with the change to field upgrades, how they get longer and longer to charge every time you use them, that could be a balancing factor for certain field upgrades like Ring of Fire. Personally, I don't want Ring of Fire to come back. I'm happy without it, but those are all the old things left that we don't have yet. If it's not those things, then hopefully it's going to be something brand new. But now let's talk about when Season 1 might be coming, because they did not give us any concrete dates except for Nuketown, which is going to be coming on November 20th. But I think we can reason out when Season 1 is going to start if we take a look at the Black Ops 6 Season 6 Battle Pass countdown timer. Now, obviously, it's going to be a different number of days for you, but this countdown timer says we have this amount of days until the end of Season 6, which I'm going to guess lines up with the start of Season 1, because if we do the math, Season 6 of Black Ops 6 ends on Wednesday, December 3rd, and new seasons usually start on Thursdays, convenient, the very next day. So I'm going to guess Season 1 of Black Ops 7 Zombies starts on December 4th. That's my guess. That's my guess. We will hopefully be getting more details after the game is launched and right before Season 1. But for all of your Black Ops 7 Zombies content, I'm talking about what augments to use, augment breakdowns, weapon DPSs, map breakdowns, map tutorials, walkthroughs, Easter eggs, tips and tricks, the good stuff. Be sure to subscribe and stay beautiful.